The Country Music Association Awards for 2025 have finally here, and lovers of country music all throughout the world are bursting with excitement. A night that is packed with powerhouse performances, passionate speeches, and surprising surprises is created by the Country Music Association every year. They put out all the stops to make this night a memorable one. This year is shaping up to be just as electrifying as the previous one, specifically because the ceremony will be broadcast live on ABC on Wednesday, November 19, 2025 at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Nevertheless, as the most important night in the history of country music unfolds, there is one question that has fans scratching their heads. Where is Blake Shelton? As a result of his collaboration with Post Malone on the smash song Pour Me a Drink, Blake, who has been a fan favorite of the Country Music Association for a very long time and is one of the most recognizable stars in country music, has already secured a 2025 award for Musical Event of the Year. Many people anticipated that he would stroll the red carpet, share a few laughs, and possibly even light up the stage with a performance. This was due to the fact that he boasts an outstanding win and is a staple at the Country Music Awards. However, the popular country crooner is not expected to be present at this year's event, as it has been reported by various sources. Why, however, would Blake Shelton choose to skip out on one of the most notable nights in the history of country music? In spite of the fact that it is shockingly straightforward, the answer is packed with a kind of depth that demonstrates how busy, focused, and grounded Blake has become in this most recent chapter of his life. This conclusion was reached after sifting into reports, social media updates, and clues from behind the scenes. Let us dissect it in detail. They had a very busy holiday season for Blake and Gwen. According to preliminary reports, Blake and his wife, Gwen Stefani, will not be attending the Country Music Awards in 2025. The primary reason for their absence is that their schedules are too packed. Since their wedding in 2021, the couple has made it abundantly known that they prioritize their family and maintaining a healthy work-life balance. In addition, their schedules are more packed than they have ever been before because the holiday season is drawing near. In particular, Gwen has been experiencing a surge of creative energy. In only the past few weeks, she has released not one but 2 holiday singles. The latter of these singles is included on the soundtrack for the upcoming holiday movie Oh, What Fun!, which will make its debut on Amazon Prime on December 3rd. In addition to this, on November 14, Gwen released a deluxe edition of her much-loved holiday album, You Make It Feel Like Christmas. This added even more glimmer to her already extensive collection of festive music. A schedule that is already packed with activities, such as promoting many new songs, arranging a movie tie-in, issuing a deluxe album, filming holiday visuals, and juggling interviews, is already stacked high enough on its own. However, this is merely Gwen's interpretation of the situation. The schedule that Blake has is every bit as hard. The road, Las Vegas and beyond. The new chapter in Blake Shelton's adventures. Although Blake has moved away from his role on The Voice, he is not delaying his progress in any way. A significant number of people have been watching his most recent endeavor, which is a television series called The Road, which airs on CBS every Sunday night. Blake's show is a passion project that represents his real love for the country music community. It follows Blake as he travels around the United States, highlighting local musicians and undiscovered musical treasures along the way. It is not an easy task to manage the production, promotion, and filming of a series of this magnitude. Nevertheless, in addition to that, Blake is getting ready to fulfill one of the most significant performance commitments of his career, which is a residency in Las Vegas. Blake is scheduled to perform a series of concerts at Caesars Palace's illustrious Coliseum beginning in January 2026. These events will spread out across multiple nights. A residency is a rigorous experience, both physically and psychologically, as it requires weeks of rehearsals, voice conditioning, planning for set design, staging rehearsals, and promotional responsibilities. The month of January is drawing near, and Blake is in the thick of things, working hard to create a show that his audience will remember for a very long time after the last note has been played. After taking into account the duties associated with the holidays, traveling, filming, and the behind-the-scenes grind that comes with running numerous business enterprises, it is easy to understand why the 2025 Country Music Awards were not able to be accommodated in this year's schedule. There is, however, more. A move away from award shows that is strategic aligned. Some fans believe that Blake's decision to skip the Country Music Awards could be interpreted as a gradual move away from the culture of award shows in general. Over the course of the past few years, Blake has demonstrated an increasing desire to concentrate on initiatives that are relevant to him rather than conforming to the paradigm of traditional Nashville. Following more than 2 decades of chart-topping hits and a multitude of award victories, Blake has already demonstrated everything that he needs to demonstrate. In addition, despite the fact that he is always grateful for the acknowledgement, his priorities have significantly evolved. His interest in the following has increased: developing creative endeavors that have significance, providing assistance to the artists of the next generation, having extra time to spend with one's family, going back to his roots in Oklahoma province, concentrating on work that is genuine and deeply felt. Although he did not attend the Country Music Awards, this does not mean that he is withdrawing from the country music scene. On the contrary, it gives the impression that Blake has earned the right to show up when it really counts and to decline when his personal life or artistic responsibilities require him to do more than what is expected of him. In addition to their mutually supportive partnership, Gwen's creative boom, there is also the fact that Blake and Gwen have a solid partnership, which is another explanation for his absence. Blake is totally present to support her as she navigates a massive wave of Christmas releases, movie tie-ins, and interviews. This is similar to how she has been for him throughout his time on The Voice, his tours, and his new television endeavors. According to Gwen, Blake is a significant component of the support system that is behind the success of every successful artist. This crew of people works tirelessly behind the scenes. Both of the couple's occupations are quite demanding, but they have managed to maintain their focus on the most important thing in their lives: their relationship. Their strategy is straightforward. When one of them has a significant moment in their work life, the other one shows up at home. When they are both overburdened, they reduce the number of times they appear in public. As the holidays draw near, they make sure to save that time for their family. This year's decision to forego the Country Music Awards is not about what they are trying to avoid. Rather, it is about what they are placing a higher priority on. Clues from social media indicate that they are content with the decision. Blake and Gwen have been providing their followers with regular updates on social media. Although neither of them has officially stated that they will not be attending the Country Music Awards, there are numerous indications that they will not be attending. While simultaneously preparing for holiday performances and juggling advertising shots, Gwen has been uploading behind-the-scenes studio content on her Instagram account. The Road hints about his preparations for Las Vegas, and glimpses into life on Blake's Oklahoma ranch are some of the things that Blake has shared with the public already. There is not the slightest suggestion of red carpet preparation, Carolina Music Awards rehearsals, or travel preparations anywhere in their most recent updates. Supporters who pay close attention to them immediately became aware of this, and many of them had already come to terms with the fact that Blake would not be attending long before the word began to spread. The consequences of Blake's absence for the Country Music Awards. Blake Shelton has been one of the most charismatic and engaging audience members at the Country Music Awards for a very long time. Nearly every year that he went, he was a highlight due to his humor, charm, and ability to make even the most serious award show moment more enjoyable. The absence of his presence on the carpet or in the audience creates a void that is easily noticed. It is because Blake provides realism to the country music industry, which can sometimes sound too polished, that fans of country music admire him. His absence is certain to generate a lot of talk on social media, as well as a great deal of disappointment among his fans. However, in the broad scheme of things, Blake's absence from one ceremony is not a loss. Rather, it serves as a reminder that even our most famous celebrities require time for themselves, their families, and the pursuit of their hobbies that go beyond accolades. A return to the Country Music Awards for Blake in 2026. Despite the fact that nothing has been verified, the chances are favorable. Blake Shelton has never completely separated himself from the Country Music Association (CMA) world, even after having resigned from his role on The Voice and diverting some of his attention away from mainstream award circuits. There is a good chance that he will make a comeback to the Country Music Awards in 2026 if he is nominated for a new collaboration, newly released music, or a notable performance in the following year. Not to mention the fact that Blake is a huge fan of a good party. Despite the fact that he will not be attending this year's event, he is not yet finished performing on the most prestigious stages in the country music industry. Remarks to conclude. The decision that Blake Shelton has made to not attend the Country Music Awards in 2025 is not a shocking, surprising, or controversial one. There is nothing more to it than a reflection of an artist who is entering a new phase of his life, one that is replete with creative development, personal priorities, and commitments that require his undivided attention. It is safe to say that the couple has more than enough on their plates, what with Gwen's holiday releases, Blake's new television series, an approaching residency in Las Vegas, and the swirl of activity that comes with the holidays. Rather than attempting to force themselves into a red carpet appearance, they have opted to prioritize serenity, balance, and time in order to concentrate on what is most important. One thing is clear, despite the fact that fans will definitely miss seeing Blake at the awards. It is only because of his absence this year that we are reminded of how much he has accomplished, how much he continues to give, and how thrilled we ought to be for what he achieves in the future. His absence does not lessen the influence that he has. Furthermore, despite the fact that 2026 is shaping up to be one of Blake Shelton's most successful years to date, the best is most certainly yet to come.